President of India visits Sabrimala, a moment of history, faith, and controversy. But what makes this visit so significant and why has it sparked a debate across Kerala? Let's discuss. President Draupadi Murmu recently became the first women president to offer prayers at the Lord Ayappa temple in Sabrimala in Kerala. She is also the second Indian president ever to visit the hill shrine after V.V. Giri in the 1970s. Accompanied by officials and family, the president performed the rituals in the traditional way, carrying the sacred Iruvudikettu, climbing the 18 holy steps and praying at nearby temples. Her visit was seen as symbolic, a woman holding the highest office in the country offering prayers at one of India's most debated temples. Sabrimala has been at the center of national attention since the 2018 Supreme Court judgment, which allowed women of all ages to enter the temple, challenging long-held traditions that restricted the women aged 10 to 50. The decision triggered widespread protest in Kerala, turning the shrine into a flashpoint between constitutional rights and faith-based customs. Against that backdrop, the president's visit carried both religious and social symbolism, seen by many as a gesture of inclusivity and constitutional balance. However, a day after the visit, a controversy erupted. A photo shared by the Rashtrapati Bhavan on social media showed the interior of the Mallikapuram Devi temple, including the deity's face, something traditionally not meant for public display. The image was later deleted, but it triggered the debate over whether this amounted to a breach of temple protocol or not. While the temple authorities acknowledged that the image might have violated the custom, others pointed out that there are no fixed written rules on how a devotee should ascend or offer prayers, especially when state and security protocols are involved. The discussion soon moved beyond the photo, touching on tradition versus transparency and devotion versus protocol. This episode raises the larger questions about how state functionaries navigate religious tradition in a secular democracy. Should official visit by constitutional authorities adapt fully to temple customs, or should they represent the modern values of inclusivity and transparency? And how do institutions like temples balance ancient ritual discipline with the realities of public life in today's India? President Murmu's visit was meant to be a moment of devotion, but it's also become a reflection of India's ongoing conversation between faith, protocol, and public perception.